You know, Tallulah, I'm particularly intrigued by the idea that the Roman Republic had something to do with the formation of our own country. Our next feature, From Rome to America, delves deeper into this fascinating topic.
As previously mentioned, the United States owes many of the philosophies that created our system of government to the Roman Empire. Now, we will bring back our reenactment team to bring to life these ideas through concepts that formed our great country, often utilizing the exact words and writings of our founding fathers.
It really is hard to believe just how much of our modern society has its roots in ancient Rome. We would like to focus on how Roman adaptation of Greek philosophies led to the European Enlightenment. And then in combination with many legal and political practices adapted from Rome, it all resulted in the Declaration of Independence, Bill of Rights, and the U.S. Constitution.
First of all, we need to make sure you understand what is meant when we refer to the Enlightenment. During the scientific revolution, a group of scholars in Europe began to challenge long-held beliefs. They relied on reason or logical thought to explain how the world worked. They believed reason could be used to achieve three great goals: knowledge, freedom, and happiness, and that by achieving these goals would improve society. This use of reason defines a period of time called the Enlightenment.
The Enlightenment thinkers used ideas from the ancient Greeks and Romans. Aristotle, for example, taught that people could use logic to discover new truths. The Romans took ideas from the Greeks and developed the philosophy of the natural law. Positing that certain rights and beliefs are inherent by virtue of human nature. They apply these beliefs not just to the natural world, but also to the human world of society and government.
The foundations of the American government lie squarely in the 17th and 18th century European Enlightenment. European Enlightenment. The Founding Fathers were well versed in the writings of the philosophers whose ideas influenced the shaping of the new country. Thomas Jefferson, George Washington, James Madison, and others took the brave steps of creating a government based on the Enlightenment values. Of liberty, equality, and a new form of justice. Over 200 years later, that government is still intact.
In 1776, the Continental Congress elected Thomas Jefferson of Virginia, John Adams of Massachusetts, Benjamin Franklin of Pennsylvania, and among others to draft the Declaration of Independence. Jefferson authored the first draft of the document. The revolutionary treaties began with a reverberating prose taken directly from the philosophy of natural law.
We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights, that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness.
Our founding fathers were prolific readers of the classics and wrote extensively. They identified with the Romans in many ways, even taking pen names that were Roman, such as Cicero for John Adams and Thomas Jefferson, Cincinnatus for George Washington, and Julius Caesar for Alexander Hamilton.
We would like to speak with some of our founding fathers. Gentlemen, would you consent to answering a few questions about your philosophies? First, Mr. Jefferson, would you please come forward?
You wrote the first draft of the Declaration of Independence, which was intended to break from England. However, is it not true that many elements that went into the Declaration were from an English philosopher?
Yes, of course.
This is true. The great British activist Thomas Paine had much to say. For example, despite his and our fascination with many great elements of politics and law, he cautioned us to consider carefully. He wisely wrote, "The Romans were strongly possessed of the spirit of liberty, but not principle. For at the time, they were determined not to be slaves themselves. They employed their power to enslave the rest of mankind."
Mr. Franklin, do you have something to add?
Paine also said, "When planning for posterity, we ought to remember that virtue is not hereditary. And as I have often pointed out, democracy is two wolves and a lamb voting on what to have for lunch. Liberty is a well-armed lamb contesting the vote."
Thank you, Dr. Franklin. How important was your role in founding our country?
The Revolution was the work of many brave and able men, wherein it is sufficient honor if I am allowed a small share.
That is so very humble of you.
Well, as I once said, humility makes great men twice honorable.
Now to you, Mr. Rapson. You'll be happy to hear that the textbooks carry you as the father of the Constitution.
I am honored to be so remembered by history. I believe strongly in the principles of a republic, by which I mean a form of government in which the scheme of representation takes place, opening a different prospect and promises the cure for which we were seeking.
Now to you, Mr. Adams.
I firmly believe that the Roman Constitution formed the noblest people with its greatest power that ever existed. Everything that is predictable in civil life has originated under such governments. Isn't that right, Mr. Chairman?
Yes, despite Rome's many failings, its appeal for us lay in its pluralistic culture, flexibility of policy, balanced constitution, agricultural economy, religious toleration, and its Roman virtues. For me, Rome was the nurse of freedom and attained to the utmost height of human greatness. And yet, neither the manners nor the genius of Rome is suited to the age we live in.
Thank you, all of you. Now, it is a well-known fact that Dr. Franklin was famous for creating charming aphorisms and proverbs, as well as spending his free time flying kites in thunder and lightning storms. Would you please grace the assembly with a few pithy words of wisdom?
Oh, I couldn't. But perhaps these gentlemen remember something charming I may have once.
There can be no gains without pains.
Tell me and I forget. Teach me and I may remember. Involve me and I learn.
There are three things extremely hard: steal, a diamond, and to know oneself.
Either write something worth reading or do something worth writing.
Any fool can criticize, condemn, and complain, and most fools do.
The Constitution only gives people the right to pursue happiness. You have to catch it yourself.
Nothing is certain except death and taxes.
Thank you, gentlemen. Mr. Hamilton, the 21st century hit hip-hop Broadway musical is named Hamilton after him. It celebrates that you, a poor immigrant from the West Indies, born out of wedlock and orphaned when you were just young, became a founding father of our nation and one of its great thinkers. Not to mention, your face is on our modern $10 bill. Would you and all of your friends kindly form a selection from this modern musical?
But of course. I am not throwing away my shot. I am not throwing away my shot. Yo, just like my country, I'm young, about being hungry, and I'm not throwing away my shot. I'm getting scholarship to King's College. I probably shouldn't have grabbed a tag. I got amazing astonished. Call me not a lot of rings with no polish. Gotta holler just to be heard. Is every word I talk knowledge. I'm a diamond in the rough. Shiny piece of coal, trying to raise my level, my power of speech unimpeachable. Only
free. He ain't never gonna set his descendants free. So there'll be a revolution in this century. And to me, don't be shocked when your history book mentions me. I will lay down my life if it sets us free.